Hello Chronoholics, I am Dr. Karan Madan. Welcome to another episode of Chronoholic Cafe, the podcast where we talk about watches, life and everything in between. And today our guest is an accomplished figure in the bespoke and high-end luxury jewelry business, Miss Abhilasha Bhandari. How are you doing, Abhilasha?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing very well. Thank you for hosting us in your lovely store today. It's quite a revelation in Jaipur. I think the whole country now knows you because of your upcycled silver jewelry and tribal jewelry. So where does the inspiration come from?
So in the market, when I searched for any kind of silver jewelry, there was nothing that was just one of a kind.
Sure.
It was always too much of it was available and everything was very similar to one another. There was nothing that was standing apart, and even if I bought something, I knew there are 20 or maybe 2,000 of similar
Sure.
pieces in the market.
That's
So
right.
I was always in a quest of something that was one of a kind, something that had different techniques of craftsmanship, something that might look bigger but wasn't bulky to wear, wasn't heavy on my earrings. So these were all questions that was unanswered for me.
Sure.
So then that's how I started with my brand, and my only motto of this brand was I wanted to make something in this brand that I could personally wear myself and I could relate to. I also do a lot of upcycle pieces in
Sure.
silver. So silver, when I talk about tribal silver, it's extremely raw. When I talk about upcycled silver, I think it is more sustainable and it has got a lot more soul. As I would like to put it, upcycled silver is for a modern woman. So yes, for me, jewelry is more like, it's poetic, it's powerful, and it's very enduring for me.
Those are very unique terms to put to jewelry, because I think the first word that comes to people's mind when they talk about jewelry is, oh, it's my personal expression. I'm sure it is for you as well,
Yes.
and for the products that you make, but very uniquely put, I must say.
Thank you.
When you do that upcycling, do you craft these pieces in your own vision, or do you maintain the originality and the sanctity of those pieces and then try to put your twist on it?
It's a very, very mixed process. When you see a piece, you see that it is so beautiful and you want it to be very intact, including the thread also, which has worn out beautifully. But then when we upcycle the pieces also, so for example, if a piece, maybe a pendant, one of the stone is missing,
Sure.
I would not try to put a new stone. I would not take away from the piece. What I would like to do is keep the piece intact and maybe make it more beautiful, adding pieces from different regions. And upcycle, as I say, is more like a sustainability and something with soul. So it's basically putting different, so I upcycle, for example, toothpicks to make necklaces, silver toothpicks to make necklaces, or I would upcycle the basic borla that we wear on head and to make a necklace out of it with more pendants attached to it. So that would depend.
The core of your business started from upcycled,
Yes.
tribal
Yes.
and silver jewelry.
Yes.
And all of it combined. I mean, how did you combine that? How did you, and your first piece that you made incorporated a lot of these elements.
Yes.
But tell us about that first piece, the inspiration behind it, and how you foresee more upcycling that you do.
Okay, so my first piece was a necklace which had different parts from Afghan jewelry. Actually, these were Afghani toothpicks.
Okay.
So Afghan jewelry, then there were pieces from Rajasthan, Gujarat, and I incorporated all of these. So I decided on the main pendant, and then I decided on the different elements.
Right.
And I incorporated those old pieces to make a new piece which I thought was more versatile, unique.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that gave me, after making that piece, I thought, yes, this is just one of a kind. Even if I want to replicate it, I cannot myself. So
That's
I
right.
think that just gave me,
The ideas of your principles of your business. In a
yeah,
way.
that kind of laid the principle of my business of one of a kind. My mindset behind the making any piece was, if I can wear it many times, I don't want to make a piece that will sit in the locker.
Sure.
Or that will be too bulky, or that is just to be worn with a sari or with a salwar kameez. I wanted to make a piece maybe with a white shirt, something that can be worn with modern clothing as well and with traditional clothing as well. So variability is very important. That takes me to my earrings also. So when I make earrings, I again make one of a kind. And I try incorporating extant or rare styles of gold into making silver earrings, which would be like partash ka kaam or any other sort of workmanship that I would like. I am blessed to have the manufacturing unit also. So I will try incorporating, of course, the melting points are different, but the process can be same to make a gold and a silver earring. So it will be as light, because gold, the usage would be very less being a precious metal, like the expensive metal.
Absolutely.
So I try using the same style in making the silver earrings also, so that they're extremely lightweight and very, very wearable.
Okay, that's wonderful. Are the processes of working with silver and gold pretty much similar, or are they vastly different?
So basically, of course, the designing is pretty much same. Like I would design on a piece of paper how I want it. The craftsmen are completely different.
Okay, because it requires different techniques to work?
Different techniques to work.
Okay.
I try to design everything from scratch. Of course, keeping in mind the craftsmanship that I want.
You said you incorporate gems, you incorporate the styles, you actually make those sketches by yourself.
Yes.
Does it actually come from your own thinking that I want to create this, or is it sometimes the demand of a customer, for example, or is it kind of a mix of both?
I would always try to make something which is classic and timeless, which is very wearable. You pick up from nature, like I would incorporate a lot of motifs of flowers or maybe birds. And again, then it's also on your mood of the day. So whether you want to do a jhumki or you want to do a chand bali or what is something you want to do. So that is a mix of, I think, a lot of things. And maybe your surroundings only inspire you all the time.
They do, don't they? I mean, you're in Jaipur with so much heritage, so much culture, and that also translates to your work.
Yes, absolutely. I think I am blessed to be in Jaipur, and a lot of work what I do is inspired by Jaipur, and it's easier for me to work here because I get a lot of craftsmanship and different style of craftsmanship.
Do you think there is a shortage of skilled craftsmen in this business?
I think the next generation doesn't want to pick up something what their forefathers have done. I think, you know, what would have been best is that they get educated and they could have put their education into improving the craftsmanship. We always try to motivate and encourage craftsmen so that they don't leave their family businesses. But then again, I think it's a very, very individualistic approach, but there is a big void, which I cannot deny.
What steps do you think can be taken to, you know, fill this void?
I think the craftsmen should be rewarded in a certain way and also educated how they can take their craft to another level.
But would you be open to bringing in craftsmen from across the country? Because you could probably find more skilled workers.
Absolutely, absolutely. I went to Calcutta to search few craftsmen, and yes, we do find, because of the diversity of our country, we can get so many styles, so much workmanship, and with different heritage, and believe me, what silver you see and what craftsmanship you see from Rajasthan might be extremely different from what you see in South.
My point exactly.
Yes,
I mean, it would probably expand your portfolio and give you more options and more varieties and more directions to work in.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
That's fantastic. Is there a school of jewelry making in India? Does that, where people are trained, where craftsmen are actually trained, or is it a skill that is still passed down from generation to generation?
I think jewelry, we do have institutes, but they are more on the designing part or understanding of gemology, gemstone. But I have not come across, I'll be honest, I have never come across an institute which will
teach the actual craftsmanship,
craftsmanship and also the extant styles. You know, if these schools pick up, say, 10 extant styles of that particular region, and they can teach to the students, and they eventually can pass it on to their craftsmen, or, you know, that's how, if we incorporate few things, why not? I mean, there'll be so much heritage which will never be lost, I mean, in terms of craftsmanship.
Let's talk about your watches. What was your first ever watch?
My first ever watch was this one, apart from the Titans and different watches that we have worn all our childhood, was this Rolex. It's a Datejust. That was gifted to my husband when we just got engaged. This was a New Year's gift. You know, I just realized even if I love so much of my gold watches, I would always come back to two-tones for a very simple reason that they're extremely wearable and then they can be paired up with anything and everything and we don't have to think twice. I can pair it up with a lot many pieces. Yes, of course, with anything in gemstones would be an emerald. I would go for, or actually this can be paired with anything, maybe with a yellow diamond, with an emerald, with a ruby, with a blue sapphire. As I told you, it is... it's
a very versatile watch.
It's a very versatile and a very wearable watch. Yes, and even in my silver jewelry, I think I would wear it with a two-tone, with all gold earrings also. I think when you wear a silver jewelry, it is very important if you're wearing a big chunky piece. It's very important to keep the wrist very elegant and minimal, as I would say, because you want one piece to pop out. As I honestly believe less is more. Then I bought this Omega, which is like an Omega Seamaster.
It is a Seamaster.
Yes, it's a bigger dial. Whenever I wear it, I feel very confident, and I just don't want to pair up it with a lot of rings or bracelets. I would just wear this watch, and maybe on a simple shopping day, I would just wear this watch and just...
But when we come to a black dial classic watch on a steel bracelet, what would you do for this?
For this, I would do minimal jewelry, maybe studs, maybe bigger studs if I feel like. That's pretty much I would do, and maybe a ring. That's
not one of your big silver pieces?
Silver, I think even if I want to do silver, then I would do studs in silver. Not too heavy to pair it up
Fair
with.
enough. How would you pair the Pasha?
Pasha is such an elite watch and is such an elegant watch that I would always pair it with something which has white diamonds with it and maybe white gold, and any gemstone would work, especially a blue sapphire would look extremely beautiful.
Classic
yes, it's a classic one, but apart from that also I think an emerald would also go beautifully.
This is something I get a lot from the women collectors, right? They love Cartier for very evident reasons. I don't see too many Cartiers in your box. I mean, this is one, sure. I mean, would you want more Cartiers? And if not, why not?
I would buy a Cartier. I would buy a Cartier to upgrade my collection, of course, any day. But I'm looking for a unique watch, and I'm yet to find one. I'm not a person who would like to just add maybe a Cartier Blue. I mean, it's a great watch. It's a beautiful watch. But I want something that updates my collection. I'm yet to find one. So, yeah.
So there's a lovely two-tone date just. This is a 36mm watch on a Jubilee bracelet. Again, two-tone. How did this come about?
This time a gold dial with diamond. The dial I would, maybe when we go to different places, we tend to wear just one watch and not carry too much jewelry. So I wanted a jewelry watch and yet not too much on the face. So that's the reason I didn't go for an all gold and all diamond watch. Instead, I went for a two-tone watch.
And how do you pair the two-tone date just 36?
I think again, it's a very versatile watch like my Rolex. But again, because it's already very ornamental, as I would like to put, I think I would do maybe a stud, a bracelet and a ring, something that is simpler styles and not too much artistic pieces. I would pair it. I would pair it with simpler studs, maybe with the tennis bracelets.
So you would actually want this watch to be the centerpiece?
Yes,
for
exactly. That's
very interesting. Okay, then there are, of course, there's a vintage gold Omega, and that's a quartz piece. The bracelet is pretty much intact for its age. Why the vintage? You have modern watches right now, or maybe neo vintage. Why the vintage?
Just an update in my collection, I'll be honest. I have started doing a lot of vintage pieces myself. So that's the reason I have started appreciating the value of vintage also. The kind of soul it brings in, the kind of sensibility it brings in, and of course, these are timeless classic pieces. So yes, something that can be worn for decades. Whenever I even buy a piece, for example, when I bought this watch, I just thought about, it comes from a certain era, I am buying it today, and I see it somebody wearing 20 years hence also. So I think, again, it's a classic and a very wearable piece.
No doubt about that, but would you say pairing this with your jewelry is tougher or easier than the rest of your watches?
I think when it comes to a all gold dial like that, again, it's the centerpiece. I don't think so. I would like to go heavier on the jewelry.
Okay.
And if I want to wear it on a work day, I would just wear a studs.
Interesting.
But this will never come on my work day for sure, because this is too dressy for my work
Yeah,
day.
and I think it's a little fragile as well for its age.
Yes.
Actually go very well with what you're wearing today. Yeah. Let's talk about the Rado and the Tag Heuer.
I think again, a black dial, a bigger dial with diamonds, very wearable.
Pretty classy.
Pretty classic.
And I think pretty signature Rado as well.
Yes.
You would see this from afar and say, hey, that's a Rado.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's very timeless also. I mean, I've had this watch for like 8 years. And whenever I feel like I've worn it, and I've never thought twice before wearing it, oh, will it look good or will it not look good? Because it has got steel strap also, it has got diamonds also, so it's a beautiful watch.
But then there is the pairing problem again. I would say it's a problem. Why? Because Rado is known for its finishing,
Yes.
the high polish that they do.
Yes.
This is a steel piece, but
Yes.
even on the ceramic watches that they do, you'll find similar finishing. It's very shiny, it's very blingy.
Yes,
Let me just say it
Yes.
like what it is. If it's blingy, how do you pair this?
So if you see my collection, I have got dual tones, I've got gold watches. For me, this is a very casual watch. So I would wear it on a very casual day.
Sure.
Even it might go with my Indian as well as my Western attires.
Sure.
But then again, I'm not dressed heavy. I may be wearing just studs of any gemstone, maybe even diamonds, and maybe with a bracelet or a bangle. And it's for me, Rado is for a simpler dressing than
Sure.
for a formal dressing. I'm a very straight line person, so I have a very simple dressing. So this just adds on to my casual dressing.
And what about the last Tag Heuer? This has a lot of ceramic on it. I mean, you traded one Rado for another ceramic watch piece. So tell us about it.
So this was a very impulse purchase. I
Yeah.
went to US and I just looked at the watch, and I love wearing whites.
Yeah.
And I thought it's a beautiful complementing casual watch for a white for
is, yeah.
like random everyday wear.
This is actually a very different watch from the rest of your
Yes,
watches, right?
yes.
It's a white dial. You don't have too many
Yes,
white dials.
yes,
If you have a
accepted.
white dial, no, that's a mother of pearl dial.
Yes.
That's a pattern dial.
Yes.
And then the Pasha, of course, again, a guilloche on it.
Yes.
But this, very stark,
Yes,
clean.
yes,
Also a ceramic bezel, ceramic parts on the bracelet.
Yes.
How do you pair this? I mean, you have so much color in your stones and your
Yes,
jewelry.
yes.
And this is monochromatic, too, so to speak.
But this is the easiest watch to pair, because
Really?
a white can be worn with any gemstone, not with the emerald, ruby, sapphire. You wear it with the amethyst also, it will look beautiful with the purple
Sure,
gemstone
sure.
also. So this is a very, very wearable watch. And again, coming back to silver also, you can beautifully wear it with a nice oxidized earring or a beautiful silver piece. And yeah, it is a very, very... It is a bigger dial, but I think still it's a very, very understated watch. So I like wearing it on a simpler days.
Very interesting. Would you also say that maybe not wearing your jewelry would work actually well with just this watch?
Yes, maybe. Normally, I always tend to wear my studs, so I will of course wear those. But yes, I mean my Tag Heuer, my Omega, my Rolex, even for that matter, my Pasha. I think I can just wear it without any piece of jewelry.
Sure.
They all stand out,
Yeah,
and
they
they
do.
all are an updation to my collection. There's nothing like one watch is similar to other. It's more like an updation. Like that's what
That's fantastic to know. So that's more or less about the watches on the table. I know you have a few more watches, and that's fine. And that's okay. I mean, the idea is that you are a watch collector, and
Yeah.
that's what brings us to the parallels between watchmaking and jewelry making.
Yes.
Now that we've spoken about the watches, there is a parallel that I really want to draw, and it is something that you'll appreciate as well. There is a lot of overlap in terms of effort, craftsmanship, painstaking detail that goes into jewelry making and watchmaking.
Of course, absolutely. There is human hands involved. There is a lot of precision.
Sure.
There are microns involved in both
Yeah,
of them, and
absolutely.
without proper microns, both will go berserk. So I think they're extremely, as I would like to put it, I think watch is a jewelry which has a heartbeat.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, to me, watchmaking is the perfect mix of art and technology.
Yes, absolutely.
I really think a gold watch is a great addition to any collection.
Yes, and I think there should be one piece that you cherish, you look up to, and every time you open your wallet, you have a smile on your
Yes,
face.
absolutely.
I mean, a gold watch does give you a smile on your
It does.
face every
And
time you.
I know for a fact that you're really getting into gold and gems these days.
Yes.
Silver is where you started from.
Yes.
And now you're getting into gold jewelry and
Yeah,
gems.
this was always in the business. I mean, the silver was a very small part of the family that I come from. It was more like a retail store, so they need to have everything. So they had silver also.
Sure.
But gold was the major part, and my husband is a gemologist. So I think it came very, very naturally to me in terms of the merchandise.
Sure.
And then I added my thing to it, my touch to it, and I made different designs with different styles of jewelry. And yes, I think I'm blessed that I could design and it could be manufactured. So I think yes.
And in just short 5 years, you've jumped to the national scale where not just high-end buyers, of course, are adorning your jewelry pieces, but a lot of Bollywood is as well.
I think it was very organic. It was very, I asked one of my husband's teammate to put pieces on an Instagram account. And after 15 days, I got a Nora Fateh song. And in 4 months, I got a Vogue article talking about the piece I designed, and it was Vidya Balan wearing my piece. And the Vogue article said that instead of the sari, look for the necklace that she's wearing. I don't have a PR company, I don't have a marketing company, no background of Bollywood. It's just went very, very organic, and I think I was just blessed. And people love wearing my pieces because they can wear it for a longer period in time.
Sure.
And again, when you see a tray, each piece is very, very different. So, maybe for one look, somebody might like one piece, and for another look, she would like the same piece. So that's the reason I think I get a lot of looks.
That's
from
wonderful.
different celebrities.
And then, yeah, exactly. I mean, I can't even start naming celebrities because literally all of current Bollywood has already worn jewelry from Abilasha.
I think I'm just blessed, and they've been very kind to me and liking my creations and adorning them, I think, yeah. So I deal with all my customers personally. No matter how many hours of the day I have to work, I would personally call them and show them pieces over a video call. When you see a client, you understand how they look, and they also see the right perspective of the piece.
That's right.
So, at times in the picture, if you click a picture from closer, it will look bigger. If you click from far, it will look smaller.
Certainly.
So at the end of the day, you might have a disappointed customer, which I really refrain from doing.
Right.
So in my short stint of 4.5 years, I've never had a single disappointed customer, for a very simple reason that I would always do a video call. I would see the customer, and at times I would advise the customer also that the piece they're choosing might not be as appropriate,
Right.
or I would like to put in I might have a better piece for them.
I think in the end, you're not selling jewelry, you're selling trust.
Yes, yes,
Right?
yes.
Trust and honesty are the name of the game,
Yes,
I must say.
absolutely, absolutely.
You are married into the jewelry industry, so
Yes,
to speak.
yes.
How do you choose your next jewelry piece? And how do you then choose your watches?
I pick by looking at the piece, or maybe a certain stone if I like. I'm not an avid jewelry collector, but then I'll have my few pieces which I really liked or I have designed for myself. And for a watch, I think there is a lot of maybe heritage in terms of brand that is involved, my emotion to the watch, and also if I see a watch aging well with me and I can see myself wearing it decades later, it holds a place in my collection.
Before she got into the jewelry business and started her own label, she was a corporate MBA warrior who would do mergers and acquisitions. And from the corporate life to running your own business, how has the transition been?
I think the corporate life has taught me a lot. The first and the foremost thing that the corporate life has taught me is to respect the people on the other side of the table.
Sure.
Because I have myself been there, so I know at least things not to do.
Right.
And also the respect for the people who work with me.
Yeah.
And the corporate life has also taught me like the business strategic advisory and mergers and acquisitions. So they have taught me, at least I knew what customers I want to deal with and how I wanted to place my brand.
Yeah.
What is the demand and supply I wanted to meet.
Do you have a wish list of watches? What watch is next?
It won't be a random addition to my
No, that's
collection
fair.
for sure.
I mean, yeah, sure. But would you still go for a gold watch? Probably.
Yes, I love my blings. I would unapologetically go for a gold watch.
Is there a message that you would like to give to chronoholics across the country?
So I would like to say time is the most precious luxury. So whenever you buy a watch, it should respect your time and the effort that you have put into it, and it should reflect who you are as an individual. And it should not be just an addition to your collection, rather it should be an upgradation of your collection, as I have said it repeatedly, and also should have a purpose and should have a mindset behind it. It should not be extremely random.
Right. This has been an absolutely wonderful experience to get to know you, Abilasha, as a person, as a jewelry maker, as a watch collector, to learn how, again, this is learning for me. I'm sure a lot of women out there know these things already, of how to pair their jewelry and their watches, how to pair different styles across segments. If you're ever in Jaipur, you should definitely visit Abilasha and look at her products, because this has been a wonderful experience. We'll be back with another episode of Chronoholic Cafe very soon, so stay tuned and thank you for watching.
Thank you so much for having me.